Hey guys, back with another Maplestory video here. This time, another hard Damien solo run. Been getting a lot of requests saying they enjoy this, kind of the solo player, a little bit lower tier group of players that are trying to get content done, endgame content. So they wanted to kind of see what my gear was like, what my nodes was like on this bishop that I did hard Damien on. And so we're going to get into it right here. So 22 mil cap, 143 KHP, 43k magic attack. This is all clean. Again, this is a bishop that's 242, right? So I got a lot of attack through my nodes, and the gear, you saw it at the beginning, 4-set necro, top and bottoms, nothing crazy, down pendant, 6-set, nothing, just kind of a grind. But these are the stats, and then we'll get into the nodes. Let's see. Here's the nodes right here. Again, higher level, more node slots. I had to take some stuff off because I want to talk about sort of solo content must-haves for people that are really close to clearing or that have like a lot of sweaty runs for hard Damien. And I think this actually applies to Arc as well and Lotus. So if you're a solo player trying to get out there and get it done, this is what I recommend you have to have. One, you have to have Defense Smash 4. Defense Smash 4 I found out is about a 10, maybe even a 15% increase in damage. And when it's really close to clearing, that's the difference between clearing and not, right? Especially when you're trying to have uptime on maximizing your burst, your big skills. DS4 is a must. And if you don't know what DS4 is, Defense Smash 4 right here, it's a special skill. You have to purchase it every week. It's on a 7-day, it expires after 7 days. So what I recommend is you try to get 2 uses out of every one. Because if you're trying to repurchase it every week, it gets kind of pricey. And so the most efficient way is, like, for example, if you try to do it the day before reset and the day after reset. And then make sure you extract it so that, you're getting 2 clears out of 1 use. And you just use it 2 times a month versus every week. Or just make sure that you are, not letting it expire, basically. And then the next skill I recommend, this is for all classes, is Blink. This skill right here, and you have to craft this 150 shards. Blink is what you're going to see a lot of people, allows them to hover, allows you to kind of teleport right on top of the boss. And it just gives you a lot of mobility and usefulness in bosses like Damien, especially, and in mainly Damien. Lotus is possible. Other endgame content is usable, but I highly recommend it. There may be some classes that you don't need it, but I would say 9 out of 10 classes use it. And then if you don't have a stun, this is obviously optional, but if you don't have a stun, I highly recommend you add Urda stun, the Urda Nova stun skill. It's a 3-minute cooldown. It's very long, so it's helpful and it's very useful. And I'll kind of talk about it, how I use it throughout this run. But the main thing is that I try to use it when I'm in a pinch. Now, there's a set times when I want to use it to avoid skills like dash, to get maximum uptime, to maximize my burst, or if I'm trying to use it defensively. I need to get an altar, and I cannot afford to get hit to miss the altar. So I'll kind of walk through when I use it in this run, but that is what I recommend. And obviously this is the V matrix and things like that specific to Bishop. But these are 3 skills that I think you really have to have, especially if you don't have a stun. And if you're lacking, if you're a newer player, I think that Blink is very, very useful defensively and offensively. So I kind of showcase how I use that as well. So we'll get into it here. That is my stats. And I think right there I went into the wrong boss at first. But here we are. So right off the bat, I try to teleport behind it. So once this galaxy comes through, that's indicating it's going to dash. I teleport behind it, and then I'll blink across it. So I don't want to take that damage right there. And that is something I found works best for me. So I blink over. You see the cooldown is 15 seconds now. Allows me to just blink right on top of the boss. Get to the corner, use my burst, use my stun here, pop my burst. So this is my big burst. You see the HP going down a ton. And that is standard, in my opinion, for even hard Damien. Just to get maximum uptime on the burst there. And I also recommend using, for solo content especially, using the dumpling or some sort of speed skill. Speed kills, I swear, it just helps, makes everything feel so much more fluid. And so that is what I recommend. It just feels nicer to have than not to have. And right there, dodging that. And my HP is pretty low, so a lot of these attacks will actually one-shot me in hard Damien. The dashes, the black smoke, things like that. So I really have to be very careful on what I take damage from. And that was a pretty good run for me. Pretty good burst sequence there. And now for phase 2. So you saw me already utilize those skills that I talked about we needed to have, right? Blink, stun, defense smash 4 for the burst. And here the most important thing for me is to get the orb going left and getting him to dash, or get the orb going right and getting him to dash left, or vice versa, right? So you saw at the last second, I turned him around, and that allows me, again, to pop on my burst here while the orb is really far away, pair it with defense smash 4 here, and then when teleport comes, I'm just going to use my ethereal form here, maximize uptime on that DPS. So I got a lot of value out of that right there, out of my defense smash 4. Benediction, and here's me using blink to avoid this dash. Again, you have to know when dash is coming, and especially for me that gets one-shotted by it, I need to make sure that I avoid it. So right there, I repositioned into the corner, got him to dash right away from the orb here, and then now I'm running. So again, a little tip is that I knew I stayed in that corner to the last second, so he forced him to dash right into the corner there, and I just avoided it. I knew he wasn't going to be there, and get this altar here. So altar, perfect. He's going to slash right back on top of me here anyways to reposition. So that works out very nicely. And for solo Damien, I highly recommend around 4 to 5 stacks trying to get that altar. And then for me here, I have to make sure, again, I use my blink. Oh, I messed up here. Got disoriented. But I make sure I use my blink here to avoid this dash. And I didn't. But that was the thought process there. And then again, to dash him away from the orb so that I had, again, maximum value, DPS, uptime, and then here, popcorn again. So here I got to blink up again to avoid this just in time, and then pop my burst. So that was pretty good value there. The orb is pretty slow as well, so I had time to do it, and then now I got to outrange this dash. Again, but that's hard Damien is all about repositioning that dash, getting him to dash across the map so that the orb never really gets to you. And this is very different than team setting, solo setting, right? You see me getting it to dash here, and then I'm positioning really far away, and then I try to get this altar here. Do I get it? Made it just in time. Nope, didn't get it. So yeah, now I'm kind of in an awkward spot here. The priority now is to get this next altar if I can. So I'm trying to get it to dash left into the corner, so it gives me all this room, the entire map, to get this altar. So I'm healing here. So that worked out very nicely. Got lucky there right before popcorn. But it's all, again, it's about sort of anticipating, knowing when it's going to come. So I'm preparing myself. So right when that altar spawns, I'm there, right? I'm not waiting last second or reacting. I know it's coming, and I just immediately get on top of it. Don't waste a second. So you see here, blink again. Trying to get this orb to go right. And then so I can burst here. It's going to teleport on top of me to the corner. Burst. Do I ethereal here? Yeah, I must. Yeah, ethereal there to get maximum DPS uptime before that orb came across. So slashes here. And I need to get this next altar. So here's dash coming, so I got to get up. I don't think I'm going to get it. No, I stunned it. Okay, yeah. So that's where I use my stun there, just to be safe, just to get a little bit more DPS. So he's going to dive here. So that worked out again. So now in solo, if you don't know in Damien, the direction that he's facing is the way he's going to dive. Which is why I was really fortunate that the altar was to the left here, but I also knew I was safe. So I'm just trying to heal up and get through. So nice little bishop combo there to get my heals in and to position it correctly and with a little bit of luck as well. It's going to popcorn. Yeah. So here, dash is coming. I should run. Am I going to run here? Yeah, kind of waited till the last second, but get to the corner. So it teleports there, away from the orb. Now popcorn's coming, and I got to run again. So it's just all about repositioning this orb, repositioning the boss, and knowing when I got to do damage and when I kind of just have to run and play defensive. So right here, I just tried to play it safe with the altar. Teleport. I think this was a mistake here, yeah. So I used my burst up there right when I got knocked back. That was very unfortunate. Bad misplay by me. Kind of not really understanding the bishop class well enough. I got a road tree. So on a really good time here. My last run was really sweaty. It was 9:57, I'm pretty sure. And this one, I mean, is a minute faster at best. So much, much better. Felt really good about this run. And it's funny to me how I don't really know if I played any differently, but the time is so much faster and the gear isn't much better. The stats aren't much better. So I'm really kind of a little bit surprised at how much better it can be. Like, this is my third run of it. And I had a run in between that was a little bit better as well. So this run was really good. I got to avoid the dash here. Am I going to run here? Yeah. So run for the teleport, reposition to get DPS up here. And I'm pretty much going to finish it off within this next dash. Sorry, next dive. Run. Nice. And I think I burst here. Yeah. Burst it up. Put it down. Not bad. Not bad. So one of the things that I did, I was a little bit more aggressive with my V3, my V4 skill, this Divine Punishment. A lot of the times I was miscalculating how fast like this orb is and how long it takes. So like here, I know it's coming up in a little bit. This orb is halfway across the map. And before, I would have waited. Like, this feels too close, I thought initially, but I kind of just ripped it here, and it actually worked out nicely. Like, it doesn't come to me and reduce damage until much later. So that worked out, and it allowed me to be a bit more aggressive, like get these peaks in here, hit harder, and my DPS went up from like 33 bill, because this is to 42. So big jump, 30% faster. 130, 42 to 33, 9 bill increase in damage. Quite a bit. So I got a lot of value out of this Angel of Balance here, and I think this was the biggest difference. Getting value out of these skills, maximizing uptime, getting attacks up while my burst was up. And so, yeah, 730. Not bad for 22 mil cap bishop. Did some healing. So this is kind of a gauge of how much DPS you're going to need. Now, again, it sort of takes mechanics and practice. My Wind Archer is around 19 mil cap. Going to try and do hard mode, but normal mode was a lot easier for me as well. And then, but yeah, hopefully this helps you guys. And I'm going to show you solo arc here as well, since I had buffs going. And so for those people trying to do solo arc, here's a little bit of tips for me. So I recommend, for bishops, it's very easy, right? I have shell. But this first skill, knowing the rotation again is important. This first skill is going to be a snake strike. So I'm not using my burst here. I'm waiting for that snake strike to go through, and then I'm bursting immediately right behind it. And look, I got full value out of this, knowing that no skill is coming. It's going to be and shell. So nice thing about bishop, obviously, I can shell all of these. But if I didn't have it, I would use my ethereal form. I would use my stun. So I stun right here to avoid that DR. Oh, again, nice to have stun. And finish it off. Pretty insane. Pretty insane bishop right there, not gonna lie. But yeah, that worked out very nicely. The most important thing, in my opinion, is making sure if you have a burst skill, like a hold down skill where you can't get knocked back or interrupted, you got to avoid this, wait till this first snake strike comes. So right here, this is kind of the indicator right there. Blink through it, dash through it, whatever it is, and then burst. And you have so much time to do DPS here before anything comes. So I think like the orb comes next and then the lightning. But yeah, once you kind of get that burst out, like you with DS4 up, most classes, especially with this kind of cap, can chunk it down pretty good. And then it's just about using your stuns to avoid screen cracks. Like if you have a stun here, if I didn't have shell and I just stun that first screen crack, that's another 10 seconds of free DPS before any screen cracks come. So pretty valuable. And if you obviously have an iframe, you can get multiple screen cracks eliminated, those back-to-back screen cracks through one iframe. So just a little bit of tips and tricks here. But yeah, this bishops are kind of OP when it comes to solo arc, because once you know how to use your shell, you can get a lot of value out of it. But hope this helps you guys solo content. Let me know if you guys want to see other things. I'm going to try to do it on my Win Archer as well and share my point of view. But hope if you have any questions, let me know, comment. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.